Ready?
That's your happy spoon right there, isn't it, Ben?
Happy spoon, happy spoon.
John, what is that you're cooking?
That is glorious wonderfulness.
That will be kind of shallow. So I'll sell each one for.
So Donovan, tell me about this system you got going on here.
Pretty excited. This is a new system that we've never tried before. This is going to revolutionize the way we worship in life to come. Similar to transparencies being eliminated years ago when LCD projectors came, songbooks and paper as we know it is coming to an end.
Nice. And it's called Tiffany screens.
Tiffany screens is only a very easy medium that we are going to be using.
Hey, we're practicing for worship tomorrow. It's going to be Donovan's team. So I'm here with Clay Beeson, who is a friend of mine, and he's going to Bosnia and Herzegovina, or how do you pronounce it?
Herzegovina.
Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina.
I think.
Yeah?
Sarajevo.
Sarajevo. The city of Sarajevo.
Yes, the city of Sarajevo.
So you're going to be there for 8 months.
Because we'll be like kind of new kids on the block, basically. Because we're joining a core group of 6 people that have been together for 3 years straight. They're like a family, you know, which is awesome. It's great. I really feel really blessed to be able to go and hang out with these people. Everybody around here really says a lot of good things about the Blacks, the Black family.
Which are the leaders out there?
Yes, Chris and Norma Black. They are amazing people.
So is it all right if you tell us a little bit about the work they're doing out there that you'll be helping with?
The city of Sarajevo is a very war-torn city. They underwent the longest siege in modern history It ended in 1994 when the Serbs set up on the hills that surround the city because it's in a valley, and they shot into it for like 4 years. Mortared, sniped, shot, and it's a pretty war-torn nation, and it's pretty tough. It's a rough area. I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's got a lot of heritage. They had the 1984 Olympics there, and but then 10 years later, that place was a war zone, literally. Buildings, bullet holes everywhere. So what happened from that is a lot of people lost hope in rebuilding. There's a stigma that says that there's a war every 50 years, so why rebuild? Who cares?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, which is hard. It's a hard thing to live in a city, in a place like that has that kind of overhanging feeling on a general basis. That can be very oppressive. So what we're doing is we're going in and we're building playgrounds. It's something that we can do. It's tangible. It's something that we can have teams come and build, and we don't need to get contracting permits. We don't need to have absorbent amounts of money to rebuild actual buildings.
Yeah.
But we can make nice, bright, safe places for people to bring their families and go, and they can look down the block and they see the playground, and it kind of brights up the block a little bit, colors, and it's new and it's safe and kids are playing, and it brings hope, you know what I mean? And through that, through going to the city officials and to the government and saying, hey, we want to come in and build your playgrounds free of charge and upkeep them and fix them and keep them nice for nothing. And I mean, how can you turn that down, really? Honestly, they're probably looking at us like, okay, what's the catch? But really, the only thing we want to do is help. And there's a lot of peace organizations, Peace Corps, and a lot of people that do those things that aren't Christian. So they're really open to it. But through that, what we've been able to do is get some more influence and a lot of favor with the government and local officials to go into schools and start talking to awesome is right. It's so cool, man. It's so cool what God's doing there. It's amazing. We can go in and teach in public schools, and we're not necessarily going in there saying, hey, look, we're Christians. Because a lot of the oppression that happened in Sarajevo was because, the name of Christ. You know what I mean? It was done. It was done. It was a holy war, so to speak, but you all know how that goes. But anyways, regardless, it's really cool. We get to go in and we just get to teach basic biblical solid foundations to these guys, because it was a communist country for a while.
Yeah.
And that was integrated into the school system. So now we can go in and teach these kids how to be creative, because some of them don't even know how to think for themselves. They're not taught to think for themselves and be creative. If you give a group of kids a project, one of those kids, he'll be like, he'll come up with an idea, and everybody will crowd around him and copy off him, because they're not taught to think for themselves, and their idea can be just as good and original, even if it doesn't maybe look that way. It's better that it be original and be their idea than to copy it from somebody else. So we're teaching them just kind of these little things, and I haven't really been there, done that yet with them, but this is what I've heard and when I've communicated with them, and it's really encouraging to hear that.